So let's get to it. Bring your imagination, your love, and your passion.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're talking about whether Avengers Doomsday can finally get the MCU back on track. We'll also be discussing possible plot details, which means we'll be rolling out a warning for potential spoilers.
This is the fight of our lives.
What actually is Avengers Doomsday? Before contemplating whether this movie could be the MCU's saving grace, we should talk about what it's all about.
Through a very special story, Joe and I have come to potentially see a road forward with you all.
The reality is, we don't know all that much. The movie is slated for a 2026 release and is currently in the midst of production, but any major news regarding scripts or story is incredibly scarce. Fortunately for us, we can make some educated guesses. We know for a fact that Robert Downey Jr. is making his long-awaited return to the MCU.
And it could be the most important character in all of the Marvel universe.
Only this time, he'll be Dr. Doom. So it's a safe bet he'll be a looming presence throughout the movie. He's probably the movie's villain, or at least the shadowy figure pulling the strings. This isn't just an Avengers movie either. To announce that the film was in production, Marvel released a video revealing the cast. It was star-studded to say the least, giving us clues for what's next. Actors from the Avengers, Thunderbolts, New Fantastic Four, and Fox X-Men universe have been confirmed for Doomsday. If this is anything to go by, we can expect lots of superpowered team-ups and nostalgic cameos. Considering that the MCU's Multiverse Saga is nearing its end, a multiverse-heavy movie sounds fitting. We just wish the Multiverse Saga had been better.
No turning back now.
Who said anything about turning back?
For all time.
Always.
The current state of the MCU. Look, the MCU has been an awesome game changer that redefined what superheroes could look like in pop culture.
You think you're the only superhero in the world? Mr. Stark, you become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
But at a certain point, we have to take off the rose-tinted glasses and acknowledge the MCU not for what it was, but for what it is currently. A gigantic, multi-million-dollar franchise that's just kind of been spinning its wheels ever since Endgame.
I am inevitable.
The truth is, the Multiverse Saga has been a bit rocky. Several movies and TV shows like Quantumania and Secret Invasion failed to land. Other projects fell flat, which created an era that's been unsatisfying. If you add in the consistent trend of wonky CGI, uninteresting characters, and subpar writing, then you've got one pretty concerned fan base.
Wait, so you're the one who's making all the decisions here?
The multiverse should be an exciting concept, but it's been run into the ground by Marvel.
What do you know about the multiverse?
The multiverse. Fizz had his theories. He believed it was real and dangerous.
This could be a saga that explores incredibly interesting alternate realities and dives into infinite possibilities with its storytelling. Instead, what we've mostly gotten are tired cameos from actors who don't add anything to the story besides nostalgia.
I'm lame compared. Like, I fought a Russian guy in a rhinoceros machine.
Can we rewind it back to the I'm lame part? Because you are not.
We all loved the 3 Spider-Men in No Way Home, but how many more times can they play that card? And why did What If, the show that was supposed to explore the vast multiverse, basically just turn into the adventures of Captain Carter and friends?
Thanks, Cap. What are new friends for?
This whole saga lacks direction. Connectivity is super important for a shared universe.
Let's just take the L and move on.
It's kind of the whole reason for doing one. Well, that and to make money. Sadly, several current projects feel completely isolated from one another. It's like the MCU doesn't know who their big bad is. Granted, some of these problems are not entirely Marvel's fault.
How many did you call?
All of us.
If you remember, Kang the Conqueror was being set up to be the big bad until the actor portraying him, Jonathan Majors, landed in some controversy. Then Marvel had to pivot, which they did by getting Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. With Doom now set as the new big bad, Doomsday seems like it's got a lot going for it, right?
What can I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
Pros and cons for the movie. Again, we don't know much about the plot yet, but we can make some solid assumptions. Based on the recent casting announcements, this movie will have a huge slew of people.
Is that everyone? What, do you want it more?
We're talking characters from the Avengers, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and X-Men. Maybe our heroes will learn how to work together in this movie. Or maybe they'll butt heads.
Excuse me, I'm Eric Lenstra.
Sounds Xavier.
Go f yourself.
If that's the case, this movie could take a page or two from the comic Avengers vs. X-Men. That storyline saw those two teams clashing in some big ways. Regardless of what happens, though, the stacked roster alone should be more than enough to get people talking.
But it's better this way, you have to trust me.
But what about downsides? Well, ironically, that gigantic cast of characters could also be a negative.
Always a way out. You know, you may not be a threat, but you better stop pretending to be a hero.
Seeing the X-Men from the past interacting with the Avengers of today will definitely lead to some cool moments, but the movie could easily get overcrowded very fast. This is a blockbuster basically guaranteed to have an influx of fan-servicey moments and cameos.
Okay. Look at you, all. You must be the others. Terrific.
While that might not necessarily kill a film, it could be a huge derailment to the story. The large cast also means it'll be an all-out war for precious screen time. No matter how you want to slice it, some characters will be lost in the shuffle with the scale this movie will have. Because of that, Doomsday could end up being the cinematic equivalent of just smashing a bunch of action figures into each other and seeing what happens.
Do you really want to punch your way out of this one?
Will Doomsday make money? If Doomsday soars at the box office, it'll be a clear sign that Marvel is back. But can this project reach the financial heights of its predecessors? The price tag is on the expensive side, to put it lightly. For pre-production specifically, reports indicated that the amount of money spent by Marvel Studios for Doomsday was roughly $8 million.
It's because he's already made up his mind. Boy, you know me so well.
That's about triple what they poured into the pre-production costs for Quantumania. Making Infinity War and Endgame cost the studio about $1 billion. If Doomsday is expected to top those juggernauts, it's gonna cost Marvel a pretty penny.
Good luck.
That being said, we shouldn't be too gloom and doom, pun intended. Endgame shattered box office records and became a cultural phenomenon.
A long way from Budapest.
While we don't know if Doomsday can do the same, it's almost a guarantee that this movie will make a large profit. Come on, this is still an Avengers movie. That brand has some serious staying power with the general audience. However, commercial success is not going to be the only important factor.
Yeah.
Can Marvel successfully follow Doomsday up if it's good? So, what if Avengers Doomsday becomes a roaring success? What if it's an absolute triumph at the box office and a cinematic masterpiece praised by fans and critics alike?
If it's all the same to you, I'll have that drink now.
Obviously, that's a great hypothetical, but they still need to follow that movie up with Secret Wars. It'd be really easy to shout from the rooftops that the MCU is back if Doomsday is a hit. The past has shown us the problem with jumping the gun. Deadpool and Wolverine was a blockbuster that made over $1 billion and cemented itself as the highest-grossing R-rated movie ever.
I am the Messiah. I am Marvel Jesus.
It stood out as a shining light in this saga. Because of that, many fans believed the MCU was back to its former glory. Heck, even the Agatha show that came out a few months later was a solid series. Then the MCU's next cinematic outing, Captain America: Brave New World, was a bit of a dud. It wasn't an atrocity, but it definitely wasn't a home run with the fans.
Who's saying that?
People.
What people?
Everybody. Everybody is saying that.
That disappointment kind of reignited everybody's fears. Even if we get a great Avengers movie out of this, Marvel needs to make sure future projects can sustain a certain level of quality. The point we're trying to make is that it's hard to hinge the entire success of a franchise of this size on just one movie.
Imagine that.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Final verdict. Is Avengers Doomsday gonna be what brings life back to the MCU? Well, probably not. But wait, don't bring out your pitchforks just yet.
this is gonna end well.
The reason we say probably not is because there'll need to be more than just Doomsday to get the MCU back up and running. Remember, this is essentially part one of a two-parter. That means that Avengers Secret Wars also has to completely knock it out of the park. The Multiverse Saga needs to conclude on a high note.
Really?
No.
Aw, whatever.
Then, if we're being honest, Marvel needs to finally move on from the multiverse. Getting fans to be excited about the MCU again isn't necessarily hard, but keeping that excitement going is what's tricky. To sustain the hype, they have to go back to the basics. They have to tell interesting stories with something to say rather than chase fads. In short, Doomsday can be what jolts the MCU out of its current coma. Yet subsequent projects need to be consistent hits to prevent the franchise from flatlining again.
Was that the point of all this? A statement?
A promise.
Do you think Doomsday can save the MCU? Let us know in the comments.
The idea was to bring together a group of remarkable people. See if they could become something more. See if they could work together when we needed them to fight the battles that we never could.